Hello everybody, Travis here for Tpull's Corner. Ooh, we get to go first. It's probably because I've been doing nothing but losing tonight. This is going to be a new Hidetsugo and Carry deck. I made my first one a few days ago, and it worked really well, except I ignored the final sentence about being able to cast instants and sorceries for free off the top of the deck. I mean, I had some instants and sorceries, but I made a deck with about 25 creatures instead, and they were very high mana value costing cards. So, you know, if they killed my creature, Hidetsugo and Carry, I'd have like a 15 mana casting creature at the top of the deck and hit him in the face for 15 points. So some of the games moved pretty fast. And then I took it out for a spin the next night in the Explorer format, and I won a lot at first. Because I'll tell you more about that if the cards come up. But it's sort of a fluke in the way that Arena's algorithm starts out a lot of the ways, with them always wanting to give you your most expensive card in your hand at the very first draw. Either in your hand for the first 7 cards or your very first draw. It'll give you your most expensive card. And that actually worked in our favor. But here we just need to get to 5 lands and get Hidetsugo and Carry, and we're off to the races. And we're going to put this deck through its paces tonight because I already used it like contrary to the way it was supposed to be designed to be used. Wizard of the Coast sort of coded the card with this idea that you're going to pair it with instants and sorceries. And so, with my contrary mind the way that it did, the first thing I thought of is, what if I do the exact opposite? How will it work out? And it worked out better, I think, actually, in a way. You can't take this deck into ranked because the meta environment is full of 4-turn kills right now, where your opponent just has the exact mix of creatures and spells that they need to, on turn 4, empty and use every card in their hand and kill you at the end of turn 4. So if the card that I base my deck around starts off with a casting cost of 5, I'm not going to be too long for this world. So this is a fun deck. It's just for fun. I've actually got too many expensive cards in it on purpose because I'm trying to experiment with a couple of them. I want to see what happens when Hidetsugo and Carry die and certain cards are on the top of the deck. I want to see the effect because I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. Get rid of your creature. I know it's a 1/3, but you might have an assembly worker kind of deck going on, and if you assemble all 3 of them, you could get some real good force multipliers going there. Okay, so they get described, they like the card. All we need now is Hidetsugo and Carry. And I can't use Go for the Throat if all they're going to put down is artifact creatures. But they're kind of ramping even if they don't get the land. They're getting mana sources. I don't want to just sit still and wait for stuff, so... Hello. You had your turn, it's my turn. Thank you. Let's just get him under 20 life points for starters. So they keep their creature. Okay. Everything's kind of just out of reach. I'm 2 away from Breach of the Multiverse. I'm 1 away from Shadow of the Source. I need 2 more blue sources before I could do one of these, which I'm thinking of maybe taking over the Weatherlight. Never mind. What do we want to do? I guess that card's kind of useless right now. And I don't have anything in my graveyard, so let's do that. They got something that's holding up priority. That was a waste of time. Are you going to cast a 1-drop? No. So why did you bother? Okay, so I can use Convoke to cast that whenever I feel like. Yeah, because it's an instant. Well, looky there. Let's see. Artifacts, mana value 3 or less. That's 3, that's 2, that's 2. So let's do this first. We'll Convoke, we'll destroy target artifact, we'll get rid of you, we'll auto-pay. Who do you kill? Which one? I hope they kill Malkader's Watcher. Thank you. Oh, hello. Oh, X is... Oh, they didn't get any life yet. That's why. Okay. Oh, good. That's an artifact creature. Okay, so... we hit them... for the 1. We use Brotherhood's End. We do the one that people don't use that often, destroy all artifacts. Mana value 3 or less. That gets rid of 4 of theirs, 1 of mine, and I get a card draw out of it. They still got a final Scribe, but we finally got another land. So now we're still short because they gave us our most expensive card. So what happened the second night when I took that first hit at Sugo and Carry deck out was Arena would give me this card. This is cost 10. This is the most expensive card in the deck. And because they would kill Hidetsugu and Carry, I'd had this card on the top all the time. I guess we don't block that. And so I'd have a 1-turn kill. And so I won that way quite a few times, and then Arena started learning, and they stopped dealing me this card. At least, you know, in the first 10, 20 cards, I wouldn't get it anymore. So I'm not sure what kind of deep neural net, you know, or deep learning kind of system that Arena has in its computing programming. But it did recognize that its normal way of default giving me this card was not working out in terms of keeping the 50% win-loss ratio. And it analyzed the situation, and it figured instead of burying Hidetsugu and Carry, because I had 4 copies of that card, I only had 1 copy of this card, and it stopped giving it to me. Okay, are you just going to land starve us? Alright, so now if we survive a turn, we can do Breach the Multiverse. Yeah, pummel me, pummel me. Alright, we go get Hidetsugu and Carry. And from them, we get... Power plant worker? Alright, we put these two on top. And we could cast that if they manage to kill us, right? So let's do that. We don't put down the land, we pass the turn. And we see what they do next. We're near dead. Do you kill Hidetsugu and carry? Do you do it? Do you? Do you? Let's have some fun, shall we? We milled 10, so half their deck's gone already. You know you want to. You know you want to. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. So, what are you going to get back? There's not a lot of impressive creatures you had there. They put it all on the flyer. They get a nice amount of life gain, so they're not worried about the top card killing them. There you go, okay. So that was the only card you had left. The Scarecrow. Okay, so you have to attack now with the life gain, right? You can't just pass. You gotta swing for a hit and get the 9 life gain. You can't resist that, right? There we go. There we go. That's good. They get 5. They lose 6. And then we just cast this as regular. And they lose half of their deck. And what was it? They had breached the universe. Or breached the multiverse. Okay. And now what do we do? Now... we just deal 3 damage to everybody. I'm going to lose another life. I'm going to go ahead and swing in and hit him for 4. And this will give us our 8th land out of the 9 we need for Portal to Phyrexia. And we're back up to 1 life. And we're using their creature. And this gives us 9. And we can just power this puppy up. We can only do it the once? Yeah, activate only once each turn. Okay. That's good, probably, because then I can still do Debt to Kami if they put down a creature I don't like next turn. Scarecrow guy. Never mind. I'll just use Portal to Phyrexia. I'm going to run out of basic lands in a second. Swamp. Portal. Swing and a hit. Hello, Bran. I'm going to my graveyard. We don't care about your graveyard. We're getting hit at Tsugo and carry. Yes. We actually don't care about too much of that anymore. Let's go ahead and... oh, that... yeah, because that happens at the upkeep, so I drew the card I had on top. Oh, that was cute. Okay. Maybe I should have cycled that. I don't know. Exile that. Okay, we could play with our food some more. But I think we'll just go ahead and end it. Eventually, we got our lead title character out. And things went our way. Certainly did bury him a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and show you the entire deck. DECK. And let me show you real quick. This is the first one. I had a brainstorm. If you haven't seen it yet, if you're brand new, first of all, go ahead and subscribe. And go ahead and check out I Had a Brainstorm, just because it was a fun deck. Some really fun, interesting battles. And I just want to show you the overview of it real quick. Where we had average mana cost was 6.0, 25 creatures, 30 lands, and I had 71 cards. So this time, I didn't go to 71 cards. I made a regular 60-card deck, and it's called Now with Instants, because I decided to stop playing Contrarian and just put in more instants and sorceries. And I'm going to probably make a couple of different variations of using this card, because I love the card. And so I've done that like with Mind Splice Apparatus before. But in this one, I still kind of went really heavy and overloaded with a lot of powerful cards. So let me go through it. We got Malkator's Watcher, 1/1, and when it dies, draw a card. We got Callous Sellsword, so we can use the sorcery to have, say, Hidetsugu and carries on the battlefield. We can have it deal 5 damage to its power to any other target, then we sacrifice it. So if we don't think the opponent's going to kill it, or if they put an enchantment that just paralyzes it, we'll just sacrifice it anyway and trigger it at our convenience. And then you can bring the Callous Sellsword itself into the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on for each creature that died under your control this turn, so it'll at least come in as a 3/3. And that's not bad for having the whole sorcery burn together adventure cost. You could, if you have 3 mana available in one turn, you could do a spell and come out with a 3/3. So that's great value. The adventure cards usually have some extra value. For removal, we've got to go for the Throat and 2 Shoulders Edict, as well as a Debt to the Kami, so we can take care of maybe an enchantment if they get an enchantment down. Possible small removement against swarms, -1/-1 to all their creatures, or we could just draw 2 cards instead. We've already done really good use out of the Brotherhood's End, so 2 small board wipe type things. And we've got 1 Celestus to help out with our mana generation and maybe dig through the deck. I've got 1 Mind Splice Apparatus, which is working out really well. This is one of my other favorite cards, but we have so many expensive cards. If Arena starts doing what it did to one of my bombardment decks, Arcane Bombardment decks, it starts just burying this all of 4 copies too far underneath in the deck, I'll just get Mind Splice Apparatus out early, I'll play it, and then all these will become cheaper, and I won't even need Hidetsugu and carry anymore. I'll just play I'll just be able to afford the cards. I got 1 copy of Beseech the Mirror from Eldraine, so we can go search for a card. So we can go search for our main leader if we don't have it. Or maybe we want to, try and get Explosive Singularity if we have this in hand. That kind of thing. Or maybe we need to go get a board wipe because we're about to die. We have Invoke the Winds to gain control of target artifact or creature. We have Vat Emergence, so we could bring Hidetsugu and carry back from the graveyard. We also have, just so you know, we have 2 Phyrexian Flesh Scourgers, so it's always tempting to just bring that back using Vat Emergence, and you brings it back not for the prototype cost, it brings it back for the full 7 mana value. So you get a 7/5 lifelinker on board, and they have to pay 7 at the cost for the ward cost if they want to do anything to it. They'll take 7 points of damage. So I always have to fight that instinct because it's too easy. In this particular deck, I've made Hidetsugu and carry. So when I get Vat Emergence, for the most part, unless I'm in trouble, I'm not going to bring back the Flesh Gorger. I'm going to bring back Hidetsugu and carry so I can use their activated ability. Not activated, but just, I guess you call it a passive ability. But I'm going to use their ability because that's what this deck is all about. So if you see me making a play and it doesn't seem optimal, it's because I'm goofing around and having fun with my favorite card. Okay, it's very, very possible that if I have Vat Emergence and I have a Flesh Gorger in the graveyard along with any other creatures, this might probably be the best choice. So, just be aware. When I get this card and I play with this card, I am playing with my food at that point. I don't really care if I'm going to win or not. I'm just seeing what I can do because it's just so much fun. I did try and leave Burn Down the House out, because I had another really expensive card in here. I think I had I forget which one I replaced it with. Maybe it'll come back to me, but not important. I had too many expensive cards, and Arena kept pairing me up with aggro, like really small cost aggro, and I've only got 10 creatures total. And in the old days, Arena wouldn't do that to you too much. They would give you an occasional aggro, but they wouldn't just throw non-stop aggro against a deck that only had 10 creatures. It would kind of sense that you were doing something different and match you up against something different. And most of, since I created this deck, has been, like mono red, really cheap green and white Selesnya, or black and white, and that kind of thing. So I did put one burn down the house and took out one of the more expensive cards, just because Magic doesn't want me to have any fun. I've got Cut Your Losses to mill half their cards. I've got Grisly Ritual, 2 Merciless Repurposing, 1 Tyrannical Pit Lord. He's fun. I had him in the last deck with the creature heavy deck. Chaotic Transformation, which is a whole nother story. We'll see if that comes up tonight. Shatter the Source, which worked really good against the Artifact deck, didn't it? Here's one card I'm refusing to take out, even though it proves useless most of the time. Hurkyl's Final Meditation. I want to see what happens when I hit Itsugo and carry die with this card on top. The Flesh Gorge, of course. 1 Breach the Multiverse, which usually everybody who uses this card has 4 copies of Breach the Multiverse. So I'm figuring you all have seen that before, and it would be boring to put yet another one on YouTube. I do have the 1 copy, so it's in there. So it does come up on occasion, and I use it. I'm not afraid to use it. Gloomfang Mauler. I'm usually just swamp cycling to go to one of the Xander's Lounges, actually. Over the Top, another complicated card that I want to see what happens when I use it when Hidetsugu can carry die, and it's the top card. But I've tried it a couple times so far, and it's backfired almost exclusively because I've got such a small permanent heavy deck. The cards that I draw, I get almost nothing, but my opponent gets a whole bunch of permanents on the board and they kill me. So it hasn't been a great card to use so far, so it's probably the wrong deck for it, but just so you know, again, not an optimal deck. I'm experimenting. I'm having fun. 1 Portal to Phyrexia, which is kind of cool. Oh, that was what I took out. I took out a 2nd Portal to Phyrexia and put in Burn Down the House. If we get a Chaotic Transformation and we trigger that from Hidetsugu and carry dying, and we have an artifact on the field, we can get Portal to Phyrexia or a full-cost Phyrexian Flesh Gorger out for basically free. And so that's fun. But I had 2 of these in, and it kept giving me both of them very early on, and I never get enough land to cast them. So, and this isn't the same as the Instants and Sorceries. I had a couple in the first deck, and it worked out great. But here I scaled one back, and just because I was coming up against so much more aggro with this version of the deck. And then, of course, we have the card which I keep winning with, Explosive Singularity. Even though I only have 1 copy of it. The nice thing is now that I have the Beseech spell, I can go get it if I want. And so as we wait for Arena to find us a new champion to attack or defend against, whatever your perspective, we invite you to like the video. Allegedly, it helps. I don't know how much. I'm not a tech head necessarily anymore. I'm technically a bit of a Luddite at this point. I used to be cutting edge when the internet first came out. I was in college. I was pretty much on the cutting edge of everything. And somewhere in the middle of all that, I got distracted and got married and had a kid and grew a family and focused on my career and didn't quite have enough spare time to keep up with every technological innovation now, so I feel a little behind the curve. Just because it's like the old days when you could lift the hood of your car and you could rattle off every bit of horsepower and part that's in the car, or if you got a brand new computer, you would absolutely know what that was. Like, I think we'll just kill you now. Why not? Because that's mana generation, right? So we don't want you to ramp that fast. We need a little bit of time ourselves to get up to speed. And now, I couldn't tell you how much RAM my computer has anymore. I don't keep track of those details anymore. When I was younger, I could memorize all that stuff. Spit it back out whenever needed. Usually against these werewolf decks, as soon as I put it out on an artifact, they put out the werewolf that you can sacrifice that destroys the artifact or enchantment. Okay, let's see. What do we need? We need blue. We need more blue. I need blue in my life. Alright, we can cast pretty much anything now. We don't care what color the land is next. Natural Moonrise, Moonrise. You triggered the day-night, but I'm the one with the Celestis. So we'll take it. We're going to take action. Ooh, nice. We throw away the Pit Lord. Nice. That's not bad. 5 lands. That's a great turn for them. No, we're not going to throw anything else away. We're just going to bring you out. And this and this. I like Chaotic Transformation on top, just because I think everybody's seen the Breach the Multiverse. Technically, if I wanted to win, right? Breach the Multiverse, blah, blah, blah. You trigger that. Do I want to throw anything away? No, I don't want to draw a card here. We deal 3 damage. I'm going to decline. The attack with both. I'm going to take 6 and get rid of this thing. I took a big hit. They're going to take 6 points to the face. And then we're going to exile our artifact. I don't care about the creature. Done with Planeswalkers, and let's go ahead and get rid of the 1 island. Because we got Surgical Bay now. So we go get another island, that's perfect. And we go get Celestis, which replaces it with a Flesh Gorger. It was either that or Portal to Phyrexia, so I'm loving it. In the meantime, we can do so many things now. Let's do that. Go to the graveyard. Oh, I threw it away with the idea of bringing it back, but this is the deck, so this is what we're doing. Yes. Oh, yes. Life is so good. That one, I guess? Alright. Next, we attack. We get 7 life points back. And now, we end the turn. You gotta kill this one, right? Let's see, another wolf gives it +1. Okay, that gives it +2. Yes, so you can attack, right? Because you can't... No! Seriously? They didn't attack and kill me. How dare you not kill me? We were not going to stand for that. I wanted that thing dead. Here, take 5 damage to you. 6 points to your face. We cast this. We exile you. Yeah, good game. That's what you get for not killing my creature when you're supposed to kill it. Lurch. Next time you have lethal damage against Hidetsugu and Kara, you take it. Can't believe these people try and deprive me of my fun of using its ability. That's what I call a good match, though. I was able to use that ability a couple times. Mastery! Please bear with me while I go to the Mastery Tree. I need to complete my 4th. Ta-da! Alright. We'll do one more. I'm losing track of how long the video is going. Nobody ever gives me comments really on if I'm going too long or if it's too short. Nobody ever comments on that, so I have no idea. Some people like to watch the deck tech only, and then once they know what the deck configures, they don't care about the gameplay. Some people skip the deck tech entirely, and they only go to watch the gameplay. So I think it's very rare that... I don't think too many people actually watch the entire video all the way through. I know a handful do. I don't know how many. And we go for Xander's Lounge. I'm going to take it a little slow, which may be dangerous. I'm going to put down the tap land next, probably, and see if I can save Takenuma at all. It means that we delay putting out Celestis for a turn. So we're kind of running a turn behind everything. But we could destroy that too if we want. Never mind. We got all the colors they need. Okay, so that is good. Do you counter the Celestis? Do we have counter spells to worry about? I'm thinking we do, but maybe they don't mind that one. Which would be good for me. Yes! Haughty Djinn. Huh. Okay. Okay. I need... Island? Here we go. I was supposed to do the other one, because the other one would be an instant win, right? If they kill Hidetsugu and carry now, and this was on top, that's 20 points of damage. Well, no, they're at 21. They have life gain, so... There we go. Okay, Hercules, bingo. So they take 7 points of damage to their face. And we cast this. I have to pay 3 because it's not my turn? Oh, that's what happens. That's part of the spell's rules. As long as it's not your turn, it costs 3 more to cast. So if I'm going to use this, I need to have 3 open mana. I could have ended the turn right there. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, let's try a direct VAT emergence. To bring you back. Bingo. Say hello to my little friend. I'm going to kill it again before I can sort things out. Oh, 9 points. That was a portal. Okay, what do I put on top? What do I put on top? I guess we put this in this? I guess that's fine. I don't have... That's 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have enough now. Do I go ahead and just shuffle? Reveal their hand. You get a creature or a... Oh, there goes my pit lord. You dirty rat. So they've probably got a ton of counter spells, yeah? Let's try this. We'll just create... Oh, it worked! No way! What is in your hand? You had 5 cards and 3 open mana and you didn't have a counterspell? You were dead. You're dead meat. None of that helps you. Oh, I can't do it. I have to have... I thought I could choose more than one creature. Oh well. They're not waiting for it. We had lethal right there anyway. I just wanted to have fun milling their deck for a change. I was so concerned about counterspells. If you're playing with Haughty Djinn, That must not be the conventional Haughty Djinn deck. It must be an amalgamation of something else. They're trying something different than standard. Our opponent is Serpentor. We go first. It's been a while. We're hoping this is a land next. No. Instead, it's one of the most expensive cards in the deck. Okay. So what color do I get? Let's go get a mountain. That way we can do this if we need to right away. I know I'm tempting fate, right? Double red, double black everywhere. I need a lot to make everything work. And I need not to cast this. I can't cast Hidetsugu and Carry as soon as I have 5. Let's go ahead and go get another swamp. Sorry, tap land, I mean. This person seems a little slow. Maybe I have time to find my main character. Never mind. On curve, mythic rare again. Go away, please. Let me go draw a couple cards. Okay. Can't cast those at all. Of course. Of course. Everything you want and need. Absolutely everything. Exile you. Take a pummeling. Ouch. 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 Okay, now this will work this time. I have enough mana. This will work if they kill me. Yes. Done. +1 and you fight. Excellent. Cast. Auto pay. Bingo. I love it. Let's do it again. Perfect. Oh, this is my favorite match so far. You just gonna put out the same thing you put out before? Maybe you're gonna fight me again? This is so much fun. 3, 6, 9. If I do that, they'll probably quit. If they know I'm going to hit him in the face for 5 over the head, they... Oh. 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 Hello. Hello, hello. Yes, thank you. They've got 2 permanents. I've got 2 permanents. Let's cast it. Usually doesn't work well for me. You can pay 7 and get rid of the Flesh Gorger with Borrowed Time. Or you can exile one of these. They go after the portal. Excellent. How do we want to do this? 3, 6. Is that an artifact? No, that's an enchantment. That's a creature. So if we make you do this, you lose the Quartermaster, right? Then we just do 6 damage there. They get a Vindicator, but they can't block because I have Menace. So nobody cares. They can't get rid of this now because they can't target it. You can't target it. Okay, so they didn't want to die just yet. They're staying at 1 life. So they wasted the spell, but they didn't pay the ward cost. Do you have a board wipe? You have... Okay, so now they have a chump blocker. And that's enough. Okay, I wanted to use Chaotic Transformation on the Celestus. And we would have gotten, not a portal back, but we would have got a second Flesh Gorger, I think. Because it's not in the graveyard. Alright, I enjoyed that. I'm enjoying the heck out of playing with Hidetsugu and Carry. I could go on like this all night, but on the off chance that the video is going too long, let's just go back in. Remind you to like and subscribe. We'll take one last look at the deck configuration. And I promise I will make a more efficient deck, but it all kind of worked out. I was able to experiment with the exact cards I wanted to experiment with. Hurkyl's Final Meditation, I confirmed, since it wasn't our turn, although we are allowed to cast it, we still need to pay the extra 3 when it's not our turn. So we need to try and wait. If you're going to use that card with Hidetsugu and Carry, you need to have 3 mana left over so that you can end the turn right then, and it takes all the permanents that are on the field and throws it right back into both of your hands. And then you get to start all over again. And Over the Top is probably a bad card for this deck. You saw how they still got good stuff out of it, right? They still got good stuff immediately with Enter the Battlefield triggers and everything. Could have severely messed us up, but we managed to do just fine with what resources we had. And that was kind of why I chose... I could have declined to cast the card when Hidetsugu and Carry died, because it had done its job, right? It had done 7 points of damage to the opponent's face. But I knew what I had in my hand, and I felt like I could handle whatever was coming next, and that was part of the experiment. So probably a bad idea unless you tailor your deck a little bit differently than I've tailored mine. You would need actually, maybe not to go back to, well, maybe you would. Maybe you just go back to the creatures. Maybe you'd choose something else. I kind of want to have fun with a prototype deck now with Hidetsugu and Carry in this card. But that'll be for another time. But those were the 2 cards that I was experimenting with. I would probably, my next version, if I had any of this stuff in it, I don't know if I'll have red next time. Maybe I'll just do a Dimir deck. We'll see. But this is, like, by far, I have way too much fun to be considered legal when I'm playing with this card. And sometimes I forget about winning. I forget about optimal play. I'm just like, let me try and kill this creature and use its ability again. Just because I think it's hilarious, because they banned Brainstorm, and then they included something that I think is potentially worse with the way that they designed this card. And I still have trouble believing that this made it past research and development and playtesting. I guess maybe you don't want to say it's broken, but I don't know. It's I will say it's fun. It's fun. I'm glad it got through. I'm glad that we have this card. It is very enjoyable. It's along with Mind Splice Apparatus. It's already in my top 10 for favorite cards. It's just great. Don't know what to say about that. But let me know if you've got a particular favorite card that you think is better than this, or that you enjoy playing with more than that. Let me know in the comments. And again, as always, like and subscribe. We'll have something new for you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.